Welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to CD Águila versus Diriangén FC in the 2023 CONCACAF Central American Cup Group C. Diriangén close to drawing Comunicaciones last week. Águila playing at home against Diriangén. Can Diriangén bounce back, or will Águila put themselves in a good position with this match? CD Águila contra Diriangén FC en la Copa Centroamericana de la CONCACAF Grupo C, Jornada 3. Should be a good game this evening. The first of two, the only two today. 2 streams, 1 review, of course. Should be a very interesting match to be played. It's on Tubi, I would think. The second match is on FS2, none on Fox Soccer Plus. With that being said, should be a very interesting match tonight. Starting 11s are as follows. For Águila in goal, Rafael Garcia. The back four, Freddy Espinosa, Julio Cibran, Ronald Rodriguez, Kevin Malara. The midfield three, Santos Ortiz, Melvin Cartagena, Darwin Seren. And the attacking three, Gerson Mayen, Duver Rascos, and Lucas Ventura for Águila. For Diriangén in goal, Alfonso Quesada. The back four, Melvin Hernandez, Luis Copete, Eric Tellez, Francisco Flores. Midfield three, Jonathan Zapata, Jonathan Moncada, Jason Coronel. And the front three, Tomas Alvarez, Luis Coronel, and Lionel Buter for Diriangén. And we're ready to go, and it is live, so it is today's. Happy birthday, man. Águila versus Diriangén, Las Delicias Stadium, Santa Tecla, El Salvador. But yeah. But a happy birthday to Rory. Everybody, tell him happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños. Whatever your choice is. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. All right. Another match in Group C tonight. And Group D. The second match we'll cover will be in Group D. That'll be the review as well. Motagua Olancho. Hope your mom starts feeling better, and hope Zach starts feeling better too. Is Messi the GOAT? Yes. Yes. I can't say he's not. I can't go against Messi, no. Even if I am still a fan of both Cristiano and Messi, I can't go against Messi. But teams will walk out, will be ready to go. The second match will be on FS2. This match is on Tubi, the Fox Sports channel on Tubi, which is pretty nice. Of course, Friday we'll have the predictions for the third place and final of Leagues Cup. Saturday we'll be live for third place and the final. 5 and 8. So there's an hour in between. We'll see what happens if I do it up there or not. TFC on Sunday, which I just hope they win. I just hope they beat Montreal. But he's retired too. But he's a retired line. So, how we doing? Welcome back. French League is worse than Saudi. At this point, I think you're right. Yeah. At this point, I think you're right. MLS is still better than Saudi, though. or at least it's more even in talent disparity. So there's more talent around the league, not 3 great players. And Diriangén must win tonight. Yep. But they should have drawn Comunicaciones. I think they're the favorite here, even though they're on the road. But it's hard to play on the road in CONCACAF, so that could be the problem for them. I've been looking everywhere for those Eagles Kelly Green jerseys. They shouldn't be hard to find. They just came back out. They shouldn't be hard to find. NFL Shop. Fanatics. Nice. 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 How good is it? How good is it? Speaking of, everybody, tell Rory happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños. I think that's only right, chat. Come on. I think it's only right. Come on, chat, exactly. What do you think would happen if there was a Leagues Cup version of MLS for South American clubs only played in the U.S.? I don't know if South American clubs would complain as much as Mexican teams, but it would be even worse considering the travel from South America to their first team and then around the country. I mean, it would be pretty similar. I don't think maybe South American teams would win because they have better players, and then it would also be used as a scouting expedition, to be honest. Yep, Edmonton Elks versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats, which Hamilton will win. I mean, even if it's in Hamilton, Edmonton just sucks at this point. So teams are about to walk out. We will be ready to go. But interesting. The cookie dough tastes good, just like a chocolate chip cookie. Good chocolate flavor for gluten-free and vegan. Well, the kicker would be if it's good enough for me to try, even though it's gluten-free and vegan. And maybe it's not exactly gluten-free and vegan, but it's able for them to be eaten. So, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Teams are walking out. We're ready to go. About to be. Definitely worth the try. I mean, but then again, when it comes to pastries, I mean, how could pastries be, I guess, vegan because they're not using bread flour? Well, wait, no. They're not using eggs, I guess. They're using egg substitutes or whatever. I don't know. Like, I seriously don't really get how, like, pastries could be vegan. Unless they're not using eggs. I don't know. Butter. You can't use butter. I guess margarine because that's vegetable shortening. Canada 85, Spain 80, international friendly in basketball. Interesting. I hope Dylan Brooks gets up to his shenanigans. If Canada's to win the FIBA World Cup, we need Dylan Brooks to get to his shenanigans. Even though I complained about him back during the playoffs, but I don't know. Starting 11, CD Águila, Rafael Garcia, Julio Cebron, Freddy Espinosa, Duvia Riascos, Lucas Ventura, Gerson Mayen, Santos Ortiz, Melvin Cartagena, Kevin Millara, Darwin Seren, formerly of the Houston Dynamo, Ronald Rodriguez for CD Águila. Sergio Reyna of Guatemala is the referee. The ARs are from Panama. Camarena and Vargas. Corrado, the fourth official from Guatemala. It's a half Guatemalan, half Panamanian group. Instead of a banner, they gave him a jersey. How cheap! Actually, I won't complain about that. You know how they hand out banners during the during a big game like this? They gave him a jersey instead of a banner, Diriangén. Huh. Okay. That seems a lot easier, honestly, than a banner, but okay. Just a packed jersey like you would buy in the store. It's like, hey, we don't have a banner, but we'll give you a jersey. Starting 11 for Diriangén: Alfonso Quesada, Melvin Hernandez, Eric Tellez, Tomas Alvarez, Jonathan Moncada, Luis Coronel, Jonathan Zapata, Jason Cornell, Lionel Butler, Francisco Flores, Luis Copete. Gavali starts on the bench. Interesting. They're playing 2 in 1 day? Didn't know you could do that in basketball. Canada got DR tonight, midnight Eastern, international friendly. Or they played that a couple of days ago against Spain, you just told me. And we're off in Santa Tecla. Águila versus Diriangén. How we doing, Henry? 0-0, 0-0. We're off for the first of 2 tonight. The final day of match day 3 of the group stage. Jornada 3, fase de grupo. 2 more to go next week and the week after, which next week is when the Canadian Caribbean Championship starts as well. We'll have that predicted on Monday, I think. I think Monday's when I predict that. So, 40 seconds. This tournament's gone by like a flash. And then I think the quarterfinals start at the end of September and the finals in December. So, quick tournament, but not many rounds. This is on Tubi, the first one. The second one's on FS2. So that or the Fox Sports app. And I think all of them have been on VIX in Spanish so far. I don't think any of them have been on TUDNA. Starts next week, the Caribbean Cup, yes. So that'll be predicted. So Leagues Cup finishes first. Then Caribbean Cup and Central American Cup will end at the same time, but Central American Cup started second. Then Caribbean Cup, but they'll both end at the same time, more or less, the same week. I don't think they'll have the final on the same day. The second leg of the final of both tournaments on the same day. I think it's more likely to have the second leg of the third place and the final for both tournaments on the same day. So like Caribbean has 1 day, Central America has the other. So 6th and 7th probably. So 2 straight suit days? Yeah. And I'll go live for the third place, second legs if I have to, and I can. There's enough space. I cannot get the song Stand By Me out of my head. Is that the Michael Jackson song? 3rd minute. Playing forward. Nice play by Águila. Here's a run. Nice run. Cross into the box. Brought down. That'll be cleared. Cleared by Diriangén, but not far enough. Still Águila. Still Águila. Shot. Missed. 3rd minute in. Águila looking pretty good. They legitimately need to force these teams to put names on the jerseys during continental competition. I swear. That's cleared. Some of them have more ads on their jerseys than others, though. I don't know if you noticed that for Águila, which is weird. 4th minute. It isn't a Michael Jackson song. Okay. 4th minute. Corner here. Headed on. That'll be missed. Cleared. Back to center. Come on, y'all. Fifth minute. Diriangén playing forward. Here's a chance. Header. And that'll be cleared at the penalty spot. Can you do Leagues Cup final? I'll do the Leagues Cup final. Don't worry. I was going to do 3rd place and the final, because I have enough time to do both live. I'll be wearing like half the suit and then put the rest together for the final, but I'll wear the shirt and the pants. Should do a movie watch along. They're really messing with a TIFO right now. 6th minute. Cross in. Shot past the post. Goes behind the net. That'll be a goal kick. Sixth minute. Playing forward. Águila on the ball still. They're back on the ball, holding it. Going forward defensively. There we go, BKL. There we go. Seventh minute. 0-0, 0-0. Diriangén defending well. Haven't really had an offensive chance except for one. Diriangén cross. Headed away. It's not my birthday. It's Rory's. My birthday's in January. Could have sworn you were here. You know what? It's probably around the half birthday, though, so. You could say half birthday. Oh, no. It's over my half birthday, actually. That's in July. Past half birthday. Thank you. I just did the calculation in my head. I'm not good at math. Math is not my strong suit. Even though I was somehow, my half birthday was last month. So we're past that. I just did the calculation, as you saw. So. Yeah, because 6 plus 12 would be 7. Yeah. Just because I was in advanced classes in high school for math, I don't know. If it was, you'd be a Vandy fan. You're either making... I'm pretty smart besides math if you're trying to make a joke about my math being horrible. It's just I suck at math. Vandy's never had any success in 23 years, so... Or 24 years, so... I don't know if that's where you were going with it. Well, football-wise. So... 9th minute. They do well in baseball and soccer. That's true. They use most of their freaking scholarships on baseball. I don't hate Vandy when it comes to football and even basketball or association football, but I hate them in baseball. I do. I'm so glad State beat them in 2021. And Vandy hasn't got close to the championship or Mississippi State. They would have went back-to-back if State didn't handle them. But guess what? They did. Shot. Mississippi State ain't that far off either when they're good. They haven't been good for the past couple of years. But we've got a national championship, so if we sold our soul, fine. College baseball is a thing because of Mississippi State in 1985. If Rafael Palmeiro and Will Clark weren't at Mississippi State, nobody would care about college baseball. Nobody. We made it a thing. It's our sport. Probably our best sport, too, but it's our sport. Should have won a national title that year. Watch Thunder and Lightning, SEC story on ESPN Plus about Mississippi State 1985 baseball. Rafael Palmeiro, Will Clark. He brought it up. 11th minute. Back to the football. Águila playing forward. They're the better team so far, I gotta say. They're threatening to score. They are threatening. Are you streaming in 5 days? Let's see. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yes. I'm streaming on Tuesday. Something. I'm streaming something. I think it's Central American Cup. Yeah. Central American Cup on Tuesday, yes. Friday, I'm predicting the League's Cup third place and final. Saturday, I'm doing the League's Cup third place and final and reviewing the final. Suit day, too. Sunday, TFC versus Montreal. They better win. They probably won't, but they better. All I'm asking is they beat Montreal. They could lose the other 9. I don't care. Just beat Montreal. Please. Monday, predicting the Caribbean Cup, but no streams. Tuesday, Central American Cup. Wednesday's the U.S. Open Cup, semifinal Miami-Cincy, of course. We'll see how good that video does. If people are watching for Messi, hey, Messi might be the best thing that's ever happened in general, but the Miami stuff does really good. It does. So Then Thursday, Caribbean Cup. I think I'm doing one Caribbean Cup and one Central American Cup. Friday off, of course, because there's nothing on Fridays. You think Messi might take that match off? No. He said he'd play on turf, which that's not anything about Cincinnati. But if the man said he'd play on turf and people think he wouldn't play on turf, he's going to play. Messi's a competitor. He'll play. He's going to play. He wants to win trophies. It doesn't matter. If he could win 2 trophies with a team who's bottom of the league, or get to another final and win a trophy before he even plays a league match with a team that's bottom of the league, he's going to get him out of there, of course. But just right now, they're still technically bottom of the league, thanks to the pause. That would be a freaking achievement. Makes him look better, if anything. So, no, he's not taking it off. Exactly. And that also means if they go to the final, that means whoever faces them is going to Champions Cup anyway. Because if the winner of that final isn't Miami, Houston or Salt Lake are going to the Champions Cup. If Miami wins, they already have the League's Cup berth, whether it's first or second. Houston or Salt Lake go. So even if, but Messi, but then again, I guess that's a consolation of not winning the trophy. No. Even if it was just Alba, Busquets, and Martinez, no. Again, exactly. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. Playing forward, cleared 15th minute. They can make the playoffs. And if they make the playoffs, all bets are off. I'm not putting them out of... I'm not calling them dead until they're dead. Toronto, dead. This season's over, even if they beat Montreal. That I'm saying. Miami, though, if they make the playoffs, all bets are off. I don't care if they have to play every game on the road. All bets are off. They could win. Just look at League's Cup. They have to pretty much win every game left, but you know what? They've already done that. So they're undefeated since Messi came in. So they ain't dead yet. Once they're mathematically eliminated, I'll say they're out of reach. I'll say they're dead. Better luck next year. But nah, I think they have a chance. As long as they have a chance, they have a chance. I'm doing Open Cup that day, so that sucks. Happy belated birthday, Jesus. That is true, exactly. Y'all birthdays are so close together. Happy early birthday. If Miami makes MLS Cup, somehow I want the final to be in LA so I can experience Disneyland during the holidays when they're all set up and stuff. Yeah, because it's in December and it's warm. Will next year's League's Cup have games in Mexico? I mean, I would figure they probably will. I think they'll end up getting those games in Mexico. Getting some games in Mexico. Is that that's the Gold Cup, yeah? Gold Cup championship lift? Yeah. Shot! Saved. Put over the bar. Over the bar by Quesada. Put over the bar by Quesada. What a header, though. Probably raining in December. It wasn't raining last year, and it was in December, and it was in LA. True, it was. That is true. It just didn't rain on the day of MLS Cup, but that is true. My bad. You're right. It was just the day of it didn't rain. The day of it didn't rain. But that's when El Nino was setting up. No, this game's actually been pretty good. I'm just reading the chat, Winvo. Early November. Oh. Oh, yeah, because World Cup. Well, everything melts together at this point. Everything melts together at this point. Do you blame me? Like, only thing I know is it's August of 2023. This is what happens when you barely take any breaks. Everything melts together. Yeah, I deserve that one. Hat flick for me. Yeah, I deserve that one. Dummy. Yeah, that was my fault. Yeah, everything's melting together though. I don't know. Like, all I know is, like, this happened in 2023, this happened in 2022. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, it's in December this year. It was in December the year before. I was doing stuff in December. Oh, by the way, I think there was snow on the ground right before or right after MLS Cup, which effed me up. Like, something that would have happened in December. So, yeah. I think we had a really big snow, like, right after MLS Cup, which, again, everything's melded together and not something that would normally happen in early November. So, in my defense, I was thinking of the date in 21 and 23, and then the fact there was a big snow right after MLS Cup. That isn't normal in November. In my defense, I'm calling it December. Putting it a month later in my brain. In my defense. And we're still watching football in December last year anyway, so America would win. I need to make a Luton Burnley prediction now. Both these teams suck, though. I say Burnley. I want Luton to stay up, but I think Burnley's the better team against each other. But it's the Premier League. Anything can happen. MLS Cup should be December 25th. No, we play 2 months earlier, give or take. We play the start of October. Besides, they don't play on December 9th. They play on December 3rd or whatever. They play the weekend before for the SEC Championship, which is still maybe the same day of the conference finals, which is still bad, but you know what? I think they played both conference finals on Sunday last year, didn't they? I may be able to watch the SEC Championship anyway. December 2nd. And then the conference finals are probably December 3rd. So, probably. 22nd minute, just like last year. I think they'll play them on the same day. Yeah. I mean, I guarantee you there'll be a Thanksgiving game this year, though, just like it was in 2021, because they're playing through Thanksgiving. They'll put a game on Thanksgiving Thursday. Just wait. Just you wait. Just you wait. They'll put a game on Thanksgiving Day. Just wait. 3 straight Thanksgiving Day streams, you bet your ass. For football. And of course, you know what? I will be live for the Egg Bowl too. Screw it. I don't know if we'll have to go straight into the Egg Bowl or have enough time to make the RSR, but you know what? We'll see. Eat football, football. Yeah. I think we have. I've watched real football on Thanksgiving for like 6 straight years. Couple of Europa League days. Then your MLS Cup playoff day. Then World Cup. The only gridiron I watch is the Egg Bowl. The only one that matters on Thanksgiving Day. The only game that matters on Thanksgiving Day that's played on the gridiron is the Egg Bowl. That's the only one that matters. Forget about the Dallas Cowboys or the Detroit Lions or whatever game they pull out of their ass to play on Thursday Night Football. Hell, speaking of feast days, I watched Liga MX on Easter. Not right now, no. I watched Pumas Atletico San Luis on Easter. I am addicted to football. Addicted. 25th minute. Well, the bad thing about Christmas is there's no association football on Christmas. It's Boxing Day. But I'll watch the Christmas game in the NFL on Nick when people get slimed. When they get slimed, because that's better. Oh, by the way, the Super Bowl. They'll have the Super Bowl on Nick as well. So I'm watching the Super Bowl there. Boom. I'm watching the Super Bowl on there as well. Give it to me. Forget CBS. I'm watching people get slimed. Besides, I'm watching people get slimed. I'm watching Patrick Starr make fun of Russell Wilson. I'm watching Patrick Starr make fun of Russell Wilson. Boom. I'm watching SpongeBob. I'm watching SpongeBob laugh. I'm watching the Bubble Bowl. Forget about 27th minute. I'm watching the Bubble Bowl. I don't know who the hell they're going to pull for the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm watching the Bubble Bowl. They would have to use Sweet Victory right during the Super Bowl. They would have to, right? Come on now. They would not do it, right? 27th minute. Settle was settled, 0-0. Listen to me. I grew up a fan of those shows. I like the NFL, but if I'm going to watch, I grew up a fan of SpongeBob. I grew up a fan of Fairly Odd Parents. I grew up watching Drake and Josh, all that. I know they only reference SpongeBob, but you know what? And the slime, which Frankly, yeah, Raiders versus Chiefs on Christmas as well. I guess Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be made fun of, isn't he? If he could play. I could care less about that game if I'm watching it on CBS. But you put it. The CGI go crazy. Yeah, true. That's not what he wanted to cook. There we go. Now we're on the same page. There we go. Honestly, Zoe 101's a good show, yeah. Zoe 101 was a good show. iCarly was. They all were. Garoppolo. Ron's a Garoppolo simp. Maybe. All right? He should have been Brady 2.0. Because Russell Wilson deserved to get roasted. That's what happened. Because he deserved to get roasted. Because he deserved to get roasted. Yeah, I watched Ned's Declassified. What show haven't I watched from that era? Oh, really? Oh, really? Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Cousin Skeeter. Salute Your Shorts. Figure It Out. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Guts. Rugrats. Rocco's Modern Life. You think I don't know? You think I don't know? All right. Yeah, Hey Dude was a good one too. Double Dare 2000. All that. But we already brought up all that. Amanda Show. That's getting closer to my. '30th minute. Stickly. Avatar Last Airbender, favorite of all time. That was a good show. 30th minute, 0-0. Settle. Águila's still the better team, but Diriangén's getting their moments. That was a good show. Just ignore the movie. Yeah. The movie, doing it as live was just, yeah. That was a classic too. Kids Pick the President. Yeah, I think, isn't that the one with like Will Ferrell voicing one of the dogs? I don't know. I think I saw a trailer of that last time I was at theaters, and it's been a year. Maybe that was a different movie, but I could have sworn. They could have signed Sergio Ramos, but they didn't. Their fault. Their fault. 33rd minute. Will Ferrell. And that's definitely a foul. Yeah, definitely. Free kick here for Diriangén. Favorite Christmas movie? Or favorite X-Men movie? I don't watch. I've never watched an X-Men movie. I thought you said Christmas movie. Which I did not read that until I read that. Days of Future Past, Best of Both Worlds. There we go. That's better. Better. I've never seen an X-Men movie. I did watch that Fantastic Four movie from like 2004. I didn't like it. Yep. Before the Drake and Josh era. That was more of the mid-90s, all that. Yeah. Saturday night. Full Metal Jacket like always. You get me. There we go. If they sing Happy Birthday Jesus during the movie when they're in boot camp. It's a Christmas movie. If you gonna say that Die Hard is set over Christmas, so it's a Christmas movie, I could use the same thought process. So, they sing Happy Birthday Jesus. They're there on Christmas. They're in Paris Island on Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Just because that 30-second snippet. And who knows? Maybe they're in Vietnam over Christmas too. Who knows? But we do know. I know, Ted Offensive, so it was like, what, midsummer? I'm joking about that part. But yeah, they did have a Happy Birthday Jesus thing in there, so. Well, you ain't facing the Miz and Awesome, or Miz and R-Truth, Awesome Truth, so. Cross in. Header! Save. Still 0-0, 36 minutes. Settle. And the way some people talk, everything that Marvel's put out since Endgame. The only Marvel movies that I've watched are Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it. Iron Man, because Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, and Iron Man is cool. And then, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, because Dave Bautista's in it. That's it. That's the only reason I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a good series. If it didn't have Dave Bautista, I would have never watched it. But it is a good series. But because it had Dave Bautista. Yeah. The only reason I watched it the first time. He's actually damn good in it, though, as Drax. He really is. So. And it came out during the time I would care about that, so. Yeah, that was horrible. Dave Bautista in MMA did not work out, no. When he left the WWE, no. He was not a real fighter. He was a big dude. That's it. It's kind of like CM Punk, except Dave Bautista was actually a big dude. CM Punk, on the other hand. CM Punk, on the other hand. I don't know why he thought he would do good in UFC. I don't know why. I wonder how that fight actually went down in AEW. I wonder how that fight actually went down with the Elite. Did he get his ass beat? I know Ace Steel beat Kenny. Or bit Kenny, I should say. But did Punk get his ass beat? I mean, what else? I wonder. 38th minute, 0-0. I don't watch AEW, but I know. Favorite old TV show on Cartoon Network? Like old? Dexter's Lab. Toonami shows count in my book. Dexter's Lab. Ed, Edd n Eddy. It's got to be one of those. If we're talking about old shows. Foster's Home is in between like old and like the total drama Flapjack era. I wouldn't say Foster's Home is like old, which is why I'm not picking that. Samurai Jack's a good show, I agree. But that's sort of like in the Foster's Home era. I'm talking about cartoons. Original cartoons. Yeah. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Dexter's Lab. I love Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I liked Billy and Mandy, but that was, again, in that middle era. Samurai Jack. Yeah, it was on Adult Swim later. Yeah. Or Toonami Adult Swim. Johnny Bravo, that is a good show. But I'd still think Dexter's Lab is better. I love Total Drama, but that was actually a Teletoon show before it was a Cartoon Network show because it was Canadian. But I love the Total Drama series. I loved it. Still do. I loved the Miraculous Misadventures of Flapjack. I loved that show. I like Chowder. Robot Chicken's one of the best shows. I love Robot Chicken. That's an amazing. It's a good show. It's hilarious. But I'm glad. I may have to binge watch Robot Chicken on HBO Max because it's all on there. But I love Robot Chicken. Squidbillies as well. '40th minute, 0-0, settle. I like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I like Tim and Eric Awesome Show. The Cartoon Network shows are like, those are the things that got cut, a couple of them, like Infinity Train, Over the Garden Wall, which I didn't like that they cut that. Summer Camp Island, I don't know, did they cut that? They still have Steven Universe on there, which is good. Had a new season of Aqua Teen Hunger Force recently, yeah. Like one last season. But Tim and Eric Awesome Show, that's underrated. Like, because it was like 3 a.m, but I think that's on HBO Max as well. Tim and Eric Awesome Show is hilarious. Zany, but hilarious. Also, I guess check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. That was a pretty good show, too. Tim and Eric, they have a different, like, sense, like, their sense of humor. Like, it doesn't land for everybody. But if it lands for you, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Watch some telenovelas. 43rd minute. Settle, 0-0. I will preface that with the drink. I am addicted to the drink. I am addicted to the drink. Guilty. Guilty. The drink. I am guilty of being addicted to the drink Coca-Cola. Yes. Guilty. I don't snort the booger sugar, but I am addicted to the drink Coca-Cola. Ha! 44th minute. And they don't put Coke in it no more. This ain't the 50s, so I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted to the cocaine. Nobody gets a Howard Stern reference there? No? Okay. Nobody? No? Only one? Okay, fine. 45th. Oh, boy. 45th minute. That's going on the best of reel. Nah, that was a Howard Stern reference. The cocaine thing was a Howard Stern reference because they sing the song "Cocaine" by whoever did it, and they just say it the craziest. They just say it like that. Whoever did that song. Eric Clapton. There we go. I've heard it before. I've heard that song a lot, but yeah, Eric Clapton. There we go. Yeah, the way I've heard it, it has no artist on it because it was burned onto a CD. One of my dad's CDs, mixtape wise, it has no artist on it. So South Park was my childhood show. I love South Park. How we doing, Ozan? How'd I make the reel of the year? Maybe your comment will make it set me off. I don't know. We'll see. Make me say something funny. I don't know. Maybe it'll show up. I don't know. We'll see. 1 minute of stoppage time. 0-0. Which I guess that means Cocaine by Eric Clapton's going on 2023 365 tonight. Yep, okay. My Spotify playlist. Songs of the day. There we go. Munja King. Hey, it's halftime. 0-0. Settle was settled. Águila's been pretty good. Diriangén's been defensively stout. Águila's threatened, but we'll see how the second half goes. I make some good Spotify playlists, though. So, from January 1st on to December 31st, I was like, I'm going to put a song of the day in a playlist. Like, whatever fits the vibes or if it was referenced or whatever. There you go. 3 cans. 3 cans. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats. Hi-oh! We're on a roll. We're on a roll. That means we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going 0-0 at the half, 0-0 miedo tiempo. Good game so far. Let's keep this going. Sit tight, I'll be back. Back for the stats at the half. Exactly. They must win. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Somehow got 6 wins. Stats are as follows: 3 shots to 4, 2 shots on goal to 1, 0 assists to 0 assists, 3 steals to 7, 7 fouls to 9, 52% possession to 48% possession, 1 offside to 0, 4 pointers to 1, 171 correct pass to 160, 155. 48 incorrect passes to 35, 213 passes to 190, 80% pass accuracy to 60. Well, that's 82. 82% pass accuracy, 0 yellows to 2, 0 reds on either side, 0-0 at the half, 0-0 a medio tiempo. Again, half and half. I'd say Águila was better offensively so far. They've been better offensively, but Diriangén's done enough defensively to keep themselves in this game. They have to win, of course, to go have a chance to go to the quarters. They have to win. And it's been a very, very, very tight game. Anything could win it. Anything could change it. They need to score, win, to stay alive. They can't even draw and stay alive. So far, right now, it is sort of going the way they want it to, but they need to win. But keeping it close in the first half is good. They need to pull away in the second half and hope that Águila doesn't come back and tie it back up or even take the lead or end up taking the lead first. Standings, Group C, are as follows. Diriangén will play a third match. This is their third match. They only have 2 points. That would mean they'd have 5 when Comunicaciones has 6 and Herediano has 7. And Comunicaciones still has to play 2. Herediano has to play 1. Diriangén has 2 to play. They need to win so they could have 7 points at the end of the round. After, if they win out, they would still have to play Real España. Yeah, they drew Herediano at home. They lost to Comunicaciones at home. They have to win here and then beat Real España next week if they want to have any chance to go through. As of now, it is Herediano winning the group, Comunicaciones back in second. Interesting. That's nice. Yeah, draw would see them out. Yeah, because that would be 2 points. They only could get 5. Comunicaciones has 6. So, yes, Diriangén would be out with a draw. Águila has 2 more matches, but that would give them, they have to win out. Real España has 0 points. They have 2 matches. They have right now, Águila has a point as well. That means they would have to win out. That would give them 7 if they held the draw. If they won, they have a chance. That would keep them alive. They would jump Diriangén. That would keep them alive. Diriangén would be eliminated with a second loss. Real España has 2 games to play. They have a win out. If they win out, they could hop Comunicaciones. But, again, that is tough sledding. With Group D, if Motagua wins tonight, of course, when we're moving on to, it's in the Midwest. I didn't see any in Mississippi, though. I didn't see any Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't see any Dunkin' Donuts in Mississippi, though, so as far as I know, no. Or Tennessee, for that matter. Whether it was Nashville or Knoxville or Memphis, I didn't see it. See you. So, no, as far as I know. But again, Motagua later tonight. Of course, the second one we'll cover. We'll be live for that as well. Motagua versus Olancho. Motagua, if they win, they will qualify to the quarterfinals. Nobody can reach 9 points. Well, San Miguelito is probably not going to win out. Probably not. Still haven't played Motagua yet. Wait, no. Still haven't played Alajuelense yet. They just played Motagua. They lost to them last week. But goal differential-wise, I think they'll have enough to... They have the head-to-head, so yeah, I think Motagua would qualify outright to the quarters if they win tonight with 9 points. Alajuelense had to hope that San Miguelito drew. Exactly. Alajuelense should still win that game against Miguelito, and then the Motagua Alajuelense game on week 5 should be a first place decider, but exactly. Alajuelense would have went through on a Miguelito draw. Goal difference, not head-to-head. Well, they still have a better goal differential anyway. How we doing, Hans? I got confused by Leagues Cup. CONCACAF always changes things. Like some group has a head-to-head first tiebreaker, the other has goal difference. I got confused. But again, yeah, Motagua, Alajuelense, Miguelito, one of them will get 9 points. Or one of them will be on 9 points going into match. Or Miguelito could be on the road to 9 points, and Alajuelense, Miguelito would be tied at 6. After next week. If Alajuelense wins, they're through next week. If Miguelito wins, that opens up Pandora's box. Teams are about to start the second half. But yeah, Motagua will be through straight up. If they win, which they should. They should beat Olancho. Olancho may be a super team, but Motagua's Motagua. And let me see. Oh, I already had the schedule and results. Oh, okay. They are playing at Chalato. They're playing at home, Chalato Ucles. So, well, it doesn't matter. Olancho will be playing there too. They're playing their home games there too. Olancho's last result was on week 1 against Alajuelense. They lost 1-0. And they are a super team, as people like to say. They're like that mini super team, as people like to say. Fonseca, Munoz, Elvire, Mallorquin, Castellanos. They got some good players. Teams are out. Diriangén's going to make a sub here. Gavalis to come on at the half for Moncada, who's on a yellow, but they need a guy like Gavalis to push this on. So that's good. Might as well pop that one up. But again, if Olancho lost 1-0 to Alajuelense, they'll probably lose to Motagua. I would see why they would. I don't see why they wouldn't. Then next week's matches, of course, on the 22nd, we have Kai, Real Esteli, Cartagenas, Jokero, CD Faz versus Olympia. On the 23rd, none of them I'll cover because Open Cup. Olancho, Verdes, Universitario, Saprissa, Águila, Comunicaciones. On the 24th, we have San Miguelito versus Alajuelense, Real España versus Diriangén. And I'm covering one of them, and then there's another. And we're back off for the second half. One of them will be a Central or Caribbean game that week. So, another 45 minutes here. Then we move on to the Motagua game. 45th minute. Chance here for Diriangén. Diriangén. Player brought down in the box. That'll be a goal kick. Corner. 0-0. 0-0. Coronel brought down in the box. Or carrying the ball, but he did fall. I wouldn't say he was brought down, but you could call it either way. 46th minute. Corner here. Corner here for Águila. If they win, Diriangén is out. Águila still has life. Whoever loses this game, Diriangén's up against it. Águila cross in. They're probably up against it anyway. If Águila loses, but they've only played 2, so. They had their bye week last week. They played week 1. Because it's a 5-team group, everybody has a bye week. Some shape or form. They played 4 out of 5 weeks in this tournament. As you can see, Alajuelense has their bye week this week. Motagua plays next week. Motagua has their bye week. Alajuelense plays. They'll be even going into match week 5 when they play each other, which I'm covering that game. That is a absolute can't miss. First place battle. Can't be missed. Unless something crazy happens next week between Alajuelense and Miguelito, but shouldn't. It shouldn't. And I guess also tonight for Motagua. Plays forward. That could happen. Something crazy could happen there, but I don't think so. Playing forward. Diriangén has a chance here. Good play. Good ball in. Shot past the post. Dear Lord, that was horrible. Deflected, it looks like. Riascos puts it wide. See if that was a deflection. That's the only thing that makes it look better if it was. It touched the keeper. Keeper came way off his line. It is a corner. Yes. Way off his line. Makes it look a little bit better. Cross in. Header falls down to the top of the box. Brought into the middle. Save. Down right to the keeper, Garcia. Easy save. Cleared. That'll be a throw in. '50th minute. Diriangén running out of time. Their 4th match may not even matter if they don't get this win, or it won't matter if they don't get this win. Prime or Gatorade? I haven't tried Prime, and Gatorade doesn't really even have any taste to me, so maybe that's because I was sick, but But I haven't had Gatorade since I had that flu back when I was 7. So maybe that's why it didn't taste like anything. But, so, maybe I should give it another chance. I don't know. I haven't tried Prime, though. 51st minute. A little early to say that. Well, technically time is running out. That is not wrong. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our microwaves. Yeah, whatever. Whoosh. 52nd minute. It was so stormy today. Yeah, I think I heard it was storming over there. Yeah, I think I heard that. But 52nd minute. I think there's a storm rolling through the CFL game right now. We have a weather delay. Rain like 5 rounds and done. Player down. They brought out the stretcher. Stretcher job. And they pick up the stretcher. I wish the CPL teams were playing this tournament. I miss the one thing I miss about it being the CONCACAF league is that the CPL teams could play in this tournament. I mean, this is pretty much the same tournament, just Central America itself and renamed. Like, if you're not going to put the Canadian teams in the Leagues Cup, they deserve a Continental Cup to qualify through. I know they could qualify to CCC CONCA champions through Canadian Premier League and the Voyageurs Cup, but header, past the post, nodded past the post. I think they deserve. The MLS gets entries into the tournament, though. But then again, I guess it's the fact that every CPL and Canadian Championship entry is a preliminary round entry. If there was a possible first round entry, which technically no, if you put the Canadian teams in and Forge were to win, they'd be in the round of 16. So technically, they could make their entry better if they were in this tournament. So, just to have the chance to make their entry better, a Canadian Premier League team should be able to play in this tournament. The champion. Might as well. Just like the CONCACAF League. Header. Maybe they'll work on that for future editions. I think they should. I'd like to see Forge play games against teams that are in the Confederation that are winnable like they used to. Or Pacific or any CPL team, but especially Forge. Those are some fun games. The Motagua series, the Santos Huapoles series, that was fun. The Foz series, when they played Tauro, Municipal Limeño, Antigua, Olympia. That was fun. '55th minute. Cross in. Plays on, header. Falls back. Offside for against Águila. Riascos offside. 56th minute. Yeah, I think the fact that there's storms is because of the Ring of Fire situation. Because there's a big high pressure over Illinois, Missouri, the middle Midwest, not the upper Midwest, which makes storms go through Michigan, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, the Great Lakes states, which then Ontario's right there. So, yeah, that might become a thing. Very, very, very. It might be a very regular thing for the next couple of weeks that there's some, I wouldn't say big storms, but some strong storms running through just regularly, thanks to the Ring of Fire pattern in the Midwest and the hot weather. So, put the radar in motion, I can see the rotation on this rain system. Huh. Hold on. You got me wondering. Hamilton, Ontario radar. Let's see. Weather Channel. It's the best I could do. I could use AccuWeather, but it's the same thing. I could see the notch, yeah. I could see, yep. There's a couple of notches on that line, yeah. There's a couple of rotation notches on that line. I could see it on the front end. Yeah, you're right. I could see a couple. You have a point, yeah. I could see it. Like the big low. You were looking at a big radar then, but yeah, there is a low pressure to it, but there are some notches on the line that I would keep my eye on until the line passes, which shouldn't take long. It's a very slim line. Should take about 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, within the hour probably. But there are some notches on that line that on the front edge of a line of storms, a QLCS quasi-linear convective system, there can be notches that lead to spin-ups or funnel clouds, the rotation, because, of course. I don't know if you've ever seen gate-to-gate shear, but you bring up the wind shear, the wind Doppler component. Put on the component, the reds away from the radar, the greens towards the radar. You see them connect. That's a rotation. I don't know if they use gate-to-gate shear up there, but I don't know how good their weather coverage is up there. I don't know how good. If it's bad, I could probably be like, oh, there's a warning? Oh, well, I'll pull up Radar Omega. Here we go. If I was up there. Boom. There's your rotation. Boom. I could explain it a lot better, but I don't know how good their coverage is up there. Like how wall-to-wall it is or how comprehensive it is. Because you're not in Tornado Alley. I mean, I guess not. I think a draw would be ideal for Cremas here. If a draw happens, Diriangén's out. So, yeah, it would be ideal. Because my point being is, in the South and in the Midwest, there's a lot of tornadoes, a lot of severe weather. I know a lot about weather. I've self-taught myself a lot about meteorology, hurricanes, severe weather, all that. Yep, concerned with straight line winds, yep. Because they can still get severe weather. And there's sometimes tornadoes in Canada. There sometimes still are. Not as bad, but they're not in Tornado Alley. They're not in Dixie Alley. They're not in Tornado Alley. But they can still get those storms. They had back in April, I think, was it late April, early May, late April? They had a 10% hatched area for tornadoes in Ontario. Because I connected it from the Great Lakes. I mean, of course, I looked at them like, yeah, they're in that area. Same system that came through like in the morning over here. Like their afternoon. But, so, yeah. So you can still get some stronger storm. Yeah, we're talking about, Manitoba and the prairies, but Ontario is. But again, there's been tornadoes in Massachusetts. Just because you're not in Tornado Alley doesn't mean you ain't going to get a tornado. Now, is it going to be a strong tornado? Depends on how good depends on how good the situation is, the setup is of that storm. Normally not. It'll be a spin up, probably a EF1 at best, maybe EF2. I don't think you really could go higher. But that's a very rare moment. You're not going to have, of course, there'll probably be a day where everything comes together like it did in Alabama. The Tuscaloosa tornado, like that, one of those. Not exactly like that, but my point is there was a day back in 2011, April 27th, everything came together in Alabama, and the Tuscaloosa, the Phil Campbell tornadoes. That day in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Phil Campbell, Hackleburg, all those tornadoes. There's a day that everything could come together, and it could be worse. I knock on wood that doesn't happen. For Ontario, for anybody. That was the same day. That was the same day. James Spann was up. That was Jason Simpson doing the 5 a.m., but then James Spann came in, but that was the same day. That was April 27, 2011. They had an early morning line, and then they had that afternoon line, which is where the worst of the worst happened. But, yeah, that was the same day. I don't disagree. Like, it's probably more fun to chase a tornado. But if you're saying in your house, at your home, in your area, I'd rather have a lot of snow. Even if I had a great underground shelter or a foolproof shelter. Sometimes foolproof ain't foolproof. Underground, yes, but Diaz for Mayan. El Reno, Oklahoma. Yep, that was there was some chasers that got a bit too close and died in that situation at El Reno. So that's, even chasing isn't safe. But that storm, the field of the winds was just so big that they didn't even expect it. Yeah. I've seen them. Don't worry. I've seen them. I've seen them. That was the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, I think. The Bridge Creek Moore, Oklahoma tornado. 1999 Bridge Creek Moore. Yeah. Mile wide, yeah. So Moore got hit 12 years later, I think. 12 years later, 13. So 14 years later as well by another EF5. Which is just foul there. Playing forward. Playing forward. Oh, nice, but cleared. But again, like, even here, when weather happens, even here, when severe weather happens, I'm just, like, I can explain it. No problem. Like, I mean, the radar, of course, but in this house, you don't really even need the news. I could look at it and be like, yep, there we go. There it is. That looks I know what I'm looking at. So, of course, the news is on, but like I could cover it. Like I could mute the TV and be like, yep, there it is. You don't need, I mean, sometimes I talk over the meteorologist, but you could just mute the TV and I could tell you exactly what we're seeing. Put an E at the end of it, but yeah, it does. Eating a Krabby Patty when the bun should be soggy and disgusting underwater, or SpongeBob not knowing how to swim. Him not knowing how to swim, that is more ridiculous. 67th minute. I do need Radar Omega, though. So I could just look at it. Myself, but. Yep, that was Mississippi. That was Amory. Matt Laubon. They were talking about, that was the Amory tornado earlier this year that went through Rolling Fork. That was my home state, Mississippi. Matt Laubon looking at the Amory, the debris coefficient. That was a bad one. That was a big debris ball. That was a bad storm. I was thinking of another one. Well, there's a lot of them, but the one from Amory sticks in my mind because, again, Andy Hall was covering it. I do watch his channel and Ryan Hall's channel as well, but I was thinking about the Amory one. If there was one place TFC could play a future final on the road, where you want it to be? Well, of course, besides St. Louis, MLS Cup final, I would want. They can't play Miami. That'd be Eastern Conference final. Yep. I think, yeah, it was the same storm. Just, I remember the Lobhon clip. But, yeah. I think it was 19th. Yeah. When the U.S. played Grenada? The 19th? Yeah, it was the 19th. Yep. Katrina was probably so far the worst storm we've ever seen. Now, am I sure we'll probably see another one just as bad in our lifetimes? Yes. Yes, we will see one just as bad in our lifetimes. Shawnee. That was it. Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah. But yeah, there'll be a storm that's just as bad as Katrina in our lifetime. Or at least in mine. But I think you might make it to see that storm as well, with the way things are going. Most of us should make it to see that storm. And I'm not saying that in a good way. At all. There's going to be one at some point in the next 25, 30 years that's just as bad. 68th minute. I don't know if it'll be New Orleans again. I don't know if it'll be Houston. I don't know if it'll be Florida. I don't know if it'll be Georgia. I don't know where. But there'll be one. You could say Harvey was up there. We may have already had one, but knowing how things, we may have already had one, but we're going to New Orleans, I'm sure. Yeah. That'd be something I would do, yeah. Besides, this is Diriangén versus Águila, but yeah, that'd be something I would do. Like, I'm surprised the day that the U.S. played Grenada. You know what happened that day? That was the day Mississippi got hit. Rolling Fork, Winona, Amory. That was the same night. I'm surprised that I was able to hold off watching the coverage of that storm until that game was over. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. And as soon as that game was over, I turned it on Fox Weather on Tubi. It's 15 miles away. It's like 10, 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away from Winona, the Rolling Fork storm, which I was there back last August. I was there last year in Winona, Mississippi. So, yeah. That's just crazy. At that point, it was like it was about 6 months later, 5, 6 months later. Maybe 8, 7 or 8. And I see that happening. It's crazy. I was like this close to, I'm surprised I didn't start talking about that, covering that. But yeah, that's I'll probably do something like that. Who knows? Maybe if there's a big hurricane and I'm off and I feel like, and there's going to be a landfall, maybe I'll talk it through. I don't know. Who knows? Knowing me, who knows? I kind of wanted the day that I was supposed to do TFC 2 versus Chicago 2. I kind of wanted to go live for the severe weather that was happening, like those two, but that bimodal moderate, and we were in the bimodal moderate risk, and we were in the enhanced. No, that moderate risk with that bimodal high. I kind of wanted to be live for that. I wasn't, but nothing happened to us. So it would have been a bust anyway, but kind of wanted to go live for that. What happened to the freaking timer? Yeah. Tornadoes ain't your thing. It's earthquakes. Major earthquake hits pregame. Al Michaels immediately transitions from a ball game to breaking news. Yep, and he did a damn good job at the transition into breaking news. Al Michaels kept his composure. Al Michaels, I got nothing but respect for him. Nothing but respect for Al Michaels. He kept his composure. He did well on that. I was thinking about it. I didn't do it. I was thinking about it. I should have. I did reference the convective outlook on my community tab, saying that's why I wasn't doing TFC 2 for Chicago 2. And then I was like, I may just cover this. I didn't, but I may. I was thinking about it. '75th minute. The score bug fail on the freaking show. 74th minute, 0-0, settle. This has been a crazy year for weather. I mean, there was the spring severe season. Now there's the summer severe season. Hurricane season in the Atlantic looks like it's going to be hyperactive, even though there's a El Nino. Pacific hurricane season. There's about to be a storm that hits California. Hurricane Hillary. All right? That normally doesn't happen. The water is not warm enough around California, even in the summer, to keep some a tropical storm. And it's going to go into San Diego and LA, South California. So I think it already would have landfalled at Baja, California, but still a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. In San Diego next week. So it's been a wild year, and it's probably going to keep getting wilder as time goes on. Header over the bar. Defensively headed over the bar. Because they did. I don't think they chose it because of that certain politician. It's just been on the Eastern Pacific name list the whole time. I don't think there's ever been I don't know if it's a new name storm. I think that's been on the list the whole time. And I don't even think, no, I don't think it's because of, it's just ironic. I think that name has been on the list before Hillary Clinton was ever in the scene, I think, if I'm correct. Exactly. No, the Pacific is the same. They rotate it every 6 years. And if a name isn't retired, it's still on the list. If a name's retired, they replace the name. But I don't think an H-name storm, at least on this list, has been in the Pacific. I may be wrong. I don't really... I sort of focus on the Pacific, but the Eastern Pacific, yes. The typhoons have a different way. Pagasa, the JMA have a different way of doing the typhoons. And then the Central Pacific list, I think, just keeps going. So it just keeps going through each list. So when one list is finished, it goes to list 2, then it goes to list 3, then it goes to list 4 for the Central. Then you have Pagasa and the JMA for typhoons. They have 2 different names sometimes. If it's going near the Philippines, then goes to Japan. Long story. Trying to explain it like to what I would explain to a five-year-old. I understand it. But trying to keep this 4 lists. 4 lists, and they just run through each. And it's like 12 names, I think. It's all Hawaiian, Polynesian names. In the Central Pacific, which is still connected to the National Hurricane Center. Normally, if it's the Central Pacific. And then you have storms like the one that just caused the fires on Maui that go into the Central Pacific and don't have their name changed. So that's probably more your tropical development in the Central Pacific is storms that cross into the Central Pacific. It normally doesn't develop in that. It does sometimes, like 1 or 2 a year, form in that basin. Even an El Nino year, it's hard to get more than that. Normally, it's the storms that move in there from the Eastern Pacific. Normally. What's the exact criteria to retire a name? A country has to put a name up for retirement from the destruction that the storm caused, the destruction and devastation a storm caused. And if a country puts it up, it's very likely that that storm is going to get retired. Very likely. I don't think I've ever seen a storm that gets put up, the name put up by a country and not retired. Normally, most of the countries in the World Meteorological Association would agree with the sentiment. The U.S., of course, put up Katrina. For some reason, Haiti does not nominate their storms. True. But normally those storms go through other countries and get nominated anyway. Normally. Shot over the bar by Águila. Normally. So, of course. But you look at storms like Katrina. To me, if they're a Cat 3, Cat 4 at landfall in any country, I think there's a chance that the name gets retired before like we get into name retiring season. If there's some that's a Cat 3 or Cat 4 major hurricane, makes landfall anywhere like Jamaica or Cuba, and then it keeps its strength into the Gulf or it goes into the Yucatan, exactly, you'll know. If you know, you know. Like, if I'm like, yeah, that's getting retired. If it's a fish storm, ain't getting retired. There's not a lot of in between. It's either a fish storm or a tropical storm that just produces rain, or it's a strong storm that hits Florida, hits Cuba, hits the Louisiana, hits the Yucatan, gets retired. And then it's harder for an Eastern Pacific storm to get retired because it's just harder. There's not as many Eastern Pacific retirements. Maybe 1 a year, maybe 2 on a big year. But if you know hurricanes, you know. You know when something's getting retired. You don't have to, you know. When a storm is finished or even in the midst of it, you're like, yeah, that's getting retired. That's getting retired. You know. Yep. Cuba gets lucky with a lot of storms a lot of time. Eastern Pacific is similar because they brought in at the same time when the Atlantic brought in the auxiliary list that isn't the Greek names, the Eastern Pacific did one as well. So to me, it seems like the same. I think it's the same system because it's both Eastern Pacific and North Atlantic is the National Hurricane Center. The Central Pacific is a division of the National Hurricane Center, but isn't exactly the National Hurricane Center. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But Eastern Pacific and Atlantic, I think they're the same system, just different names, but they have the 6 lists, rotating, retire the name. And then they have the auxiliary list that is just regular names now, not Greek names. They retired the Greek names. That's done. Yeah, 2005 and 2020. Hell, we almost got there in 2020. Well, no. Actually, that was the first year the auxiliary list was 2021. Like, 2020 was so crazy that they had to retire the whole list. Because some of the strongest storms in 2020 were Greek named storms. Eta, Iota. It got crazy. 2020 got crazy. Well, I mean, it was a crazy year anyway, but hurricane season got crazy. Puerto Rico gets hit all the time. Yep. Nice. 83rd minute, they finally brought back up the score bug. But 2005 was a crazy season. 2020, I didn't think it would take 15 years to get back to Greek names. It did. I've always wanted to see it get back to Greek names. Or I guess the auxiliary list. But in the most... And the way they got to Greek names was not exactly the worst. There was a couple of strong storms. There was Laura. But other than that, it was a pretty uneventful season. Isaias, but that was not as bad. I think here's the take that you may disagree with. Isaias would have been retired if we didn't get to Greek names in 2020. That's a take, and I'm standing on it. But since we got to Greek names and Eta and Iota happened, wait, did Isaias? I don't think it did. I think Isaias survived. Let me check. Maybe it did, but I think it did. I think it survived. Don't quote me on that. Hold on. I don't think it did. Tropical cyclone, names, retired. There we go. 2020. No, it was Laura 8 Iota. Yeah, Isaias survived. If Eta and Iota didn't happen, we didn't get to Greek names, Isaias would have been retired. Yep. That's my take. There have been some names that I think were harsh retirements. If there was... It's kind of like Emily, right? Emily in 2005 was not retired. If there was no Katrina, no Rita, it would have been retired. But since there was Katrina and Rita and Wilma, Emily didn't get retired. It's still there. It's being used. I think we're on the list this year. 2020 was 2008. 21 was 2003. 22 was 2004. Yeah, we're on the 2005 list. The second go around since 05 this year. Yeah, second go around. No, third. Because 11. 9 was 03. 10 was 04. 11 was 5. 12 was 6. 13. 14. That was the first go around. So third go around, my bad, since 05. But Emily's still on the list. And I lived through that. I was in Cancun when Emily hit back in 05. I was there. 86 minute. I lived through that. There's a reason why I like severe weather and hurricanes, or really know it. Hurricane Emily. I say that storm should have been retired at that moment in 2005. But if it wasn't for if Katrina didn't happen, if Rita or Wilma, if one of those three didn't happen to the level it did, Emily would have been retired. I call it right now. Isaias is the opposite. Or I wouldn't say opposite, but it's the same situation. If the Greek name storms in 2020 didn't happen, Isaias would have been retired too. Then there's been some soft retirements that I don't exactly agree with. In 08, Gustav and Ike, to me, I still don't see it. Okay? Ike, a little bit more, but Gustav, though, it wasn't as bad. Maybe it's the Cuba part of the storm. Maybe it's when it would hit Cuba. That's what got it retired. But in New Orleans, it wasn't as bad as they put it. They really overhyped it, which is probably what did it. Cleared by Águila at the 87th minute. Yes. The Galveston Hurricane, yes. Nottingham Forest 2-0 over Sheffield United. Fulham 1-1 Brentford. I think Brentford's going to beat Fulham, but okay. Liverpool 3-0 Bournemouth. Luton 1-2 Burnley. Fair. Wolves 1-2 Brighton. I think Brighton, yeah, I think that's fair. They lost Caicedo. 1-1 Spurs versus Man U. I'm good with that. Man City 3-2 Newcastle. I think Newcastle's going to win. Villa 2-0 Everton. West Ham 0. Chelsea 2. Palace 0. Arsenal 3. Yeah, that's pretty good predictions. Except for Man City versus Newcastle. I think it'll be a draw at the very least. I think 3-3, but I think Newcastle, they can win. So, still 0-0 here. Diriangén will be eliminated if this draw holds. 88th minute. Fair. Hurricane Sandy was extremely destructive, strong Atlantic hurricane. Largest Atlantic hurricane on record is measured by diameter till 8 countries from Caribbean to Canada. Yeah, but Superstorm Sandy, that deserved to be retired. That was never a question in my book. That's never been a question in my book. That was a crazy storm. That deserved to be retired. Point blank. So, no. Man City, they should have lost to Sevilla. They lost to Arsenal in the penalty shootout. Burnley, they should have won by more. Man City is they lost Kevin De Bruyne, by the way. Man City didn't really do well in the preseason. I mean, their best game was Burnley. They won a trophy on penalties that they should have lost if Ederson didn't stand on his head. I'm gonna give it to Newcastle. I think City are going to fall off. They are going to have, by their standards, a horrible August to November until De Bruyne gets back. I don't know if they'll be good enough to even be in the contention of the league. They might be in trouble. Hurricane Camille, 60. Yep, 1960 Hurricane Camille. That was Katrina before Katrina. My Nana and Pop wrote out Camille in their house. Now, they weren't on the Gulf. They were in-state, Mississippi, in-state, inland, but they still wrote out the storm once the bands came in their house. I don't exactly remember where they were. But, yeah. Yeah, 3-3, that's fair. I agree with that. I agree. 4 minutes of stoppage time here. Then we'll quickly jump over to the next stream. But plays in, cross. If Águila win, that gives them a chance, even though they still have 2 games to play. Diriangén will be eliminated with 1 to go. I don't have any La Liga tips. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going BS. I have no La Liga tips. Barca will probably struggle again. Águila score 69. Yeah, I was 9 years old. 69, yeah. It was in the 60s, but yeah, 69. My bad. It was a year before 70. Goal, plays forward. I name-checked the wrong 60s year. 91st minute. Playing forward. Águila, good cross in. Here's a chance. Brings it down. Shot into the net. It's goal. Goal, goal, goal de Águila. 1-0. 1-0 Águila. What a pass. 1-0, 92nd minute. That's going to do it. That's going to be what it is. And it's Darwin Seren. Who else? Who else but Darwin Seren? Who else but Darwin Seren to score the goal? Diriangén to be eliminated. Darwin Seren, formerly of the Dynamo, rolls it in. What a goal, Darwin Seren. Eliminates Diriangén. Águila will still be alive in this group. That was bound to happen. First goal that Águila scored this competition. 2 more minutes to go. Darwin Seren, 90+2. It was Darwin Seren. They got it wrong on the CONCACAF website. It was Darwin Seren. They got it right on the show. Yeah, I saw what happened to him. That's why you wear underwear and pants. He's not talking about the cluster headaches, Blitzo. I don't have any tips there either. 93rd minute. '93rd minute. One minute to go. Then we'll jump on to the next. Other than Lowell Bayern win. Exactly. Dortmund actually sounds like they're, you know what, I'm going to say this. Dortmund sound like they are on a better locker room since Bellingham left. They're more connected. So I'm going to say Dortmund wins. Do you think the speed incident was fake? No. Why would you even fake that? I'm not saying he planned for his thing to pop out, but it wasn't fake. Who even plans it being fake? I show speed. Cristiano, the Cristiano kid. What other speed is there? What other speed as a person is there? I mean, I get it could be like the channel or the drug, but we're talking about the streamer. And it's full time, 1-0. 1-0, 1-0. Águila has a chance. Diriangén is eliminated. Commiserations to Diriangén. No congratulations for Águila yet. Oh. With that being said, we'll take a short break. We'll be back very soon. If you like the stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Send super chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Tell all your friends. I'll see you in a couple of minutes for the Motagua game. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.